Hey everybody, it's time for the last match of the night. One more spot to go amongst the Open Finals here at Week 8 of the Challenger Cup, or the Open Cup, excuse me, of the Legendary Series. My name is Frodan, and I've been casting alongside Azuma. How you been doing so far, TJ? You enjoyed the games today?
They've been actually really fun games today. Big highlight was Phrase's Ancestral's Call,
Right.
Shaman earlier. We've seen more 3-0s today, very decisive victories than we've seen in the past. And Fatigue Mage, even though they're very long games, they're very interesting and sort of fun to watch. I always learn something new. So it's been a really fun day.
Yeah.
And last match of the day, Executioner Gooby taking on UNC Tennis, the guy in the suit.
Yes, that's precisely him. Gooby is a guy that his story has been pretty long in ESL Legendary Series. He's qualified twice to the Open. Once he made it through, once he didn't make it through, and it was both like the same gatekeepers, like Zalay and Deny him.
Yeah.
And I think he might have lost against Zalay or something in the first round. And now he's back here, one round away, but this time it's not double elimination, it's single elimination. So if he loses here, he's out yet again. As a European player, it just feels like so sad to have him come so close one more time, stay up really late. It's 6 p.m. here, which means it's 3 a.m. there. And to have an opportunity to qualify would be a dream come true for him, considering how well he's played and how far he's come along. Meanwhile, UNC Tennis, well, he's got some uphill battles to climb.
Yeah.
Oh wait, sorry, I read this completely backwards. I thought UNC Tennis was the one playing Hunter versus Mage. Oh, actually, well, maybe Gooby's the one who's going to have an uphill battle to climb. He's got Druid versus Mage, and then
I would definitely
Mage
say
versus
so.
Hunter.
I call Gooby the Executioner because he in the times that he's made it to the Open, or the one time that he did make it to the actual Legendary Series match day, he's taken out some big names, and he's been a big upset even though he hasn't made it all the way through. He always gives those guys, the guys that draw crowds, a pretty tough time, and hopefully one day Gooby Central will draw crowds himself. And he'll be the one being upset.
I've come around. I think Gooby is one of the best players in the Open has to offer. And
I will definitely agree.
It makes me a little sad to see him not be able to qualify in the past weeks. But I think even if Gooby doesn't get through to the main event in the LAN finals, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing him around in the future for sure. He's one of the best players.
Yeah,
definitely.
There's no arguing because finished top 15 legend in the December season. Qualified through the open bracket 3 times, just all around great.
So both these guys are playing Freeze Mage, by the way. Freeze Mage can struggle a lot with Druid.
UNC Tennis's Mage was
Freeze Mage as well. He's the one playing Mage.
Oh, is
UNC Tennis is playing Freeze Mage right now.
Oh.
And then Gooby also played
Who played
a Freeze
the
Mage.
aggressive Mage today?
It was...
Was it Quiet?
I want to say it was Santa.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Santa was playing the aggressive Mage.
Okay, yeah, for some reason I thought it was UNC Tennis. My bad. But yeah, this is a pretty tough matchup, and you have to have experience in that matchup as the Druid to be able to come out on top of this one. You have to save some key cards for the inevitable.
Yeah, I like silencing the secret for sure too.
Yeah.
It's just too much tempo gained through the mad scientist itself.
Yeah.
Force the mage to play secrets, honestly.
The old-fashioned way. The pre-Nax way.
Okay, so he is a Gators fan, but he has UNC in his name.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
and he's probably like from Kansas or something. It's like the 3 most competitive universities in America, like Alabama or something.
Yeah, I'm still under the maybe thinking UNC stands for something else. A challenge to our admins, if they are listening to us, is to ask UNC after this matchup what the actual UNC stands for.
So a key to this matchup as the Druid player is to make sure to avoid being bursted once Alex Straza hits the floor. Especially if Gooby's not playing the combo.
Yeah. By saving your Ancient of Lords for the heal for after Alex Straza and building up as much armor as you possibly can.
That's one thing that's interesting too, because Fast Druid was such a strong pressure amount on Freeze Mage, not to mention it had Ancient of Lords to heal and the natural buildup of the hero power.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that'll be the case here. Like, I mean, Gooby should probably charge his Druid the Claw.
Yeah, this we know for a fact that this deck does not run combo because we've seen
All 30 cards.
We've seen all 30 cards.
Yeah.
So
Black Knight just stay on curve. Okay.
wait, was it this Druid or was it?
It was this Druid.
Okay.
That decked out against Handlock.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Well, I can respect a man that wants to follow the curve. There's nothing really.
Thank you.
There's nothing really worth Black Knighting anyways inside of a Freeze Mage deck.
No, not at all.
In occasion in the past, some people used to run duplicates and then a couple Sludge Belchers with Antonitis. That was like Forson's build, I believe.
Yeah. It's a good thing Black Knight doesn't function like a BGH where if you play it and there's a minion available to be killed. But I believe Black Knight's worded for that's an enemy minion.
Starfall the face.
Once upon a time. Once upon a time.
Oh boy. So if you're tennis, you just only have to play Blizzard and then Flame Strike. That's the combination of cards, and incidentally, it works out okay.
Yep.
Because even if he plays you with the Claw in charge mode, oh man, if he was one turn away, he could have double buffed those minions outside of Flame Strike range.
The one benefit of this though is that he's building up armor.
Yes, you want to hero power as much as you can.
Yeah.
Because when you Alex Straza, then he's at what 18, 19 health, and then he heals him back up to 23 with Ancient of Lore.
Gooby's friend, whoever that is behind him, has very nice pants.
What?
He just got up. You missed it.
Oh wait, no, I see a hand.
No, there's pants there. They're very.
I see three.
Incredible.
2 hands? 3 hands?
Oh wow.
Oh, okay, never mind. There's a guy hanging out in the background.
Yeah. I hope Gooby knows that he's there.
I'm pretty sure he does. If not, then well, there's some pretty friendly people in his country.
Pretty sure Gooby's American.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
He plays on the EU server though.
Does he?
Yeah. And he's also in the EU time zone, I thought.
I thought I was under the impression today that Phrase was the only European player, but I could be incorrect.
Maybe Gooby registered as a US citizen.
No, he plays on the North American servers. He was top 20 legend on North America last season.
Okay.
I mean, that doesn't really tell you anything, but
Okay. Never mind.
okay.
Apparently Gooby is from Michigan.
Yes, just got word.
And well, that Doomsayer is also about to get Michigan.
That's
I don't know.
You said
I was
that.
trying to transition back into the game.
Nice. Dr. Nice.
Dr. Nice. Thanks, Doc. Well, he's gonna go for an Alex Straza play.
Ooh.
He needs to survive though, because he's actually gonna die, I think. There's 17 damage. He's at 18 health.
Well, if he
Hold on. He needs to draw one more piece of burn. Yeah, Frost Nova, Doomsayer, Ice Barrier, Ping. He needs to just pick up one more piece of burn. Oh, you don't. No, you don't need a Fireball now.
yeah, because that would only put him at 12 health, and then he wouldn't be able to Pyroblast for the kill next turn. His Ice Block would. Well, no, because Doomsayer would.
The whole point is you need to start weaving in hero powers here.
Yeah.
Because your hero power negates his shield for a little bit.
Yeah.
What to do?
But the.
E.
Okay. Well, the problem still hasn't changed. He still needs burn.
Yeah.
So I guess it doesn't really matter. The reason why I like the Ice Barrier is because it prevented the possibility of something like charging coming through and whatnot.
All he needs, Ancient Allure.
Oh, that's too bad. He didn't have Ancient of Lore.
Yikes.
He's gonna have to cross his fingers for next turn. Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter though either way because he does have the extra ping too, so we didn't count that. So he had the ping across 2 turns. Still needs 1 more heal, but it won't matter. So the Frostbolt ends up being okay.
Alrighty.
Yep. So good for Tennis to be able to calculate 3 turns ahead, and actually it was really good planning from him. We were thinking about the next turn immediately.
Yeah.
Uprooted just to see if he can get as much pressure on the board, but Tennis is going to win game number 1. Well done. Well done indeed.
Yeah, very well
Being able
played.
to think that far ahead.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes there are some games where Frost or Freeze Mage can just play itself, especially if it's a lot slower and you don't have many options in your hand. But that definitely wasn't one of them, and he really sequenced the end there correctly to be able to pull out a victory.
All right, so we're going to go straight into game number 2. What was the matchup here?
Oh, I don't remember.
Okay.
I think it was Hunter versus...
No, Hunter versus Mage is the 3rd one. I think this is Warlock versus Paladin.
Okay. Well, UNC Tennis, of course. We did see him run the Zoo. So, Zoo versus Paladin. We've seen 2 of these matchups so far today. One of them went towards the Zoo, and one of them went towards the Paladin. I'd say Paladin is pretty well equipped to do with Zoo. But there's also the chance, like we saw earlier, where you just have just terrible draws.
We've seen this matchup a few times. Pretty split down the middle. I still give the nod to Zoo if Paladin doesn't get the right draws, but if he does, then he's going to be sitting pretty well.
Yeah.
I think it's just as simple as that. One thing that I do like to see, though, is the variations within Zoo. Specifically that some players are choosing not to put Implosions or Sea Giants, and some people are. And with the prevalence of Big Game Hunter, I feel like the Sea Giant Zoo has actually gotten so weak. Because even control decks might have a reason to hold on to BGH against fast deck now.
Yeah. Well, we actually haven't seen... No, we saw Implosion in Zoo today, actually, we did.
Yeah. I think in another Zoo that we had that Warlock. But it's also fascinating to see how many people didn't bring Warlock today.
Yeah, going down the list, Fishy didn't bring Warlock.
We had 3 people who didn't bring Warlock.
And Gooby. Yeah, so that's more players than usual. Usually it's
like 1 or 2.
1, yeah. And maybe not even 1. There was one week where every single player brought a Warlock.
And like 7 players brought a Warrior.
Yep. Fun times.
Well, I gotta say, I think Paladin is in a very strong position. Look at that hand.
And a Muster for Battle just to top it all off.
Oh man, I think Gooby is gonna run away with this game soon. The fact is he's got so many strong anti-aggro options. So the way that you can come back though are the juggles. Like if you can juggle really well and then climb back on the board, you'll be okay. But it's gonna be really difficult to fight back from this position from Tennis because the Paladin is gonna have everything 2 for 1. Like every single thing will 2 for 1.
Yeah, that's true. And sometimes, well, I guess not really against Zoo, but sometimes it can even go beyond that.
Yeah. Like, this Muster for Battle might be able to end up getting a lot of mileage, too.
Yeah. Well, Voidwalker's a decent way to stop it.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, getting off one of these 1/1s.
Yeah, so now it becomes problematic because he doesn't have a way to deal with the Knife Juggler. So it's going to protect it for an additional turn, which just allows for more opportunity for really solid, some clutch juggles. Maybe he can even apply to my team.
Maybe. We'll see. Hold on. He's got a few chances here.
Yep.
He might even juggle 3 in a row on this shielded mini-bot. Nah?
No.
Okay, so it won't. At least it won't die.
But okay.
All right. Well, that's pretty much what he could have asked for. And True Silver Champion here stabilizes for Paladin. So now it's going to be up to the Zoo to produce a threat that it can't answer, like a Doomguard, Defender of Argus, Dark Iron Dwarf, etc. Something to stall out this True Silver. I mean, it's okay. Yeah, so Harvest Gold is a perfect example.
Yeah,
like,
really
you don't
great.
want to use True Silver on this.
No. Because you're not taking any power off the board. Lothep, though, is pretty tough to deal with. But he's actually got double Abusive Sergeant. He actually has the potential for triple Abusive Sergeant.
Well, he can't because of Time Rewinder.
Oh, yeah.
Normally he can.
With Lothep.
Dang.
Wow.
Creates such a powerful minion.
And that's a pretty crazy play, though. Like, not like the strategic depth of the play, just
sick top deck.
top decked and check that off. That's wrecked. I think you might consider time rewinding the Dark Iron Dwarf here just to protect it from the shielded mini bot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely viable.
I mean, the Paladin's actually getting low. He does have Lay on Hands, but there could be an opportunity where there's just too much pressure on the board for you to be able to use Lay on Hands. Probably not going to be the case, but it's always a possibility. The shielded mini bot will only be able to deal with one of these, and then he can push through with the Dark Iron Dwarf damage next turn. Oh, if this snipes the Knife Juggler. Or sorry, the Leper Gnome.
Oh. Nope.
Not clutch juggles.
Wide right.
Ooh. Little bit awkward.
Yeah, mana usage wise. Ugh, not much better. But at least he has the opportunity to play both of those cards next turn.
But Tyrion is...
Yep, he's ready to go.
Very, very tough.
Here we go. Gooby's charge for victory starts now, as he is going to be on a turn to win the game. And that should be it. That Divine Shield can't be stopped. The best he could do is crash into this.
Yeah, but either way, without a silence, Ashbringer will still kill him next turn.
Yeah, there's actually just no way about this. So that's going to even up the series, and Gooby will end up having Paladin stabilize against Zoo. And this is something that Paladin can do if the matchup goes well. I feel like it's gotten very similar to how a lot of decks face off of it, like Warrior or Druid, how it relates to the early Zoo. Because like Druid, you can simplify it, like if he has a Keeper early on with an Innervate or a Wild Growth, you can stop Zoo.
Yeah.
If you're like Warrior and you have the Fiery War Axe, you can stop Zoo. And if you're Paladin, you have like the Zombie Chow and the Shielded Mini-Bot, you can definitely stop Zoo.
Yeah.
There's just so many 2-for-1 trades that just outvalue them early on.
Yeah.
And you just control too much of the state of the board. They never compound their advantage with buffs or different ways to like do different defender targets or even Doomguard finishes. It's very inefficient.
Multiple ways for you to stabilize early on. Multiple ways for you to challenge the early push from the Warlock. Well, Mage versus Hunter.
Yeah, this one's tough for the Mage. Even if there's no flare, Hunter just still is always a threat to burst your bubble with the hero power.
Yeah, it's it becomes a race against your own hand when you're Freeze Mage, and it's just too hard to stall out the damage from the Hunter long enough for you to be able to draw into pieces for you to win.
Okay, so, well, what is Tennis going to do in this matchup specifically if he doesn't draw the Undertaker? Because I feel like the Freeze Mage, if Hunter gets off to a slow start and they're not running Flare, Freeze Mage actually, like, not only is okay, I think it's slightly favored, in my opinion. I know this sounds like really weird, but I've talked a lot about it with other players, who like play a lot of Freeze Mage, like Hyped, etc. And it's like this weird threshold where actually like Hunter's laughably easy if they don't get a good start. Well, I mean now he has the Undertaker, so good start already has been thwarted. Ooh, Mad Scientist.
That Mad Scientist flew into the hand sort of oddly.
He just went straight from the deck. It was like the end of Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Where like he didn't want to play against Pegasus because he kept reading his mind, so he just played off the top like confidently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
TJ's looking at me all weird when he was the guy who explained this to me, like before the show began. He was like, Dan, I just finished watching this episode. I was like, alright, cool, man. Cool story.
It's a fun story. I used to wake up 3 hours before I had to go to school when I was in middle school to watch Digimon, Pokemon,
Gotcha, your
Yu-Gi-Oh,
Saturday mornings.
Yu-Gi-Oh, Beyblades. No, before school, every weekday.
Wait, what? You had those would only broadcast at like 4 p.m. after school.
No, not where I lived.
You lucky.
Yeah, so it would be like where I lived, the schools were spread out. So like elementary school started at 7, high school started at 8, middle school started at 9. So they could use the same buses for every school.
High school started at 10. College just doesn't start.
Well, it's
Your
because
town clearly values
it's so they could
education.
reuse the buses. It was value. It was a value.
It was
system.
one bus driver driving 40 kids to school.
Yeah, and so I used to watch in the morning before I went to school.
And then 10 years later, you started commentating esports.
That's how it came to be. It's a roundabout way.
You're killing me, TJ.
Literally.
Oh man. Well, you know, Tennis didn't want to let the Acolyte collect value, so he killed it off. But it's one of those things where I'm always like, let Freeze Mage draw cards. I need to put pressure on him.
Yeah.
Alex Straza in the hand is also super key for Gooby, because if you have Ice Block up, then you just Alex Straza and you need to get, and then the condition becomes to gather 15 points of damage afterwards. All right, so that's 3. I'm assuming that we're gonna see a Doomsayer. Actually, maybe he hero powers, but then hero powers increases the board.
Yeah. A lot of times Hunter can use... Well, if you use Alex Straza on yourself in that situation...
Yeah, it doesn't feel ideal because Alex Straza on yourself means you're probably not going to win.
No.
So you're still going to have to use Alex Straza, usually pretty aggressively.
I feel like in most matchups, unless you're... No, yeah. In most matchups, maybe like Handlock would be the only time where you'd ever be able to use it on yourself, because they're getting themselves low for your burn.
It's a pretty good draw, actually. Ice Barrier.
Yeah. Buys you a lot of time. Lots of time. An entire turn's worth of time, nearly.
Maybe 2 turns, even.
Possibly, yeah.
Well, never mind. About 1 turn.
Yeah, that's out the window.
Okay, so... I'm pretty sure that we have to see a Doomsayer event play eventually.
Yeah. Against high main, though,
It's fine, because as long as it pops, you still have Blizzard.
yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
So... you have to set up a contingency plan. I think you ping the high main anyways, just in case it doesn't die.
Yeah. Your win condition does not base around pinging off the face and putting damage on. I mean, I guess if at the end of the day you're planning on Alex Strazing yourself, maybe every extra point of damage matters, but you really aren't gonna, in most situations, be able to piece together 30 points of reach damage after you Alex Straza yourself. He's got a handful of weapons. That's actually really good.
I'm somewhat surprised that he's chose to keep this Mad Scientist in his hand for so long. It could be the fact that he only has 1 trap in his deck, and that he feels like Mad Scientist is his best chance to weed out that 1 trap, and if it dies and he doesn't get it out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his traps are almost never going to pop in this situation.
It's a pretty good draw. They just continue to have freeze. I think he might Alex Straza next turn if there's no other big threat. Maybe not. It could just be Acolyte play.
I think the draw on this web spinner could end up being a pretty big deal. Especially if he ends up Alex Strazing himself. Fireball, huh?
Yeah, he needs to draw into more burn right now.
Yeah.
But I still think Alex Strazing yourself is okay. Or Alex Strazing your opponent's pretty good too. But you just don't have enough burn to follow it up. You only have 6 points of damage, and you know that the other trap might be freezing trap and deny you from being able to do damage with Alex.
At the same time, you need to get Alex out as quick as possible because.
Oh! What?
Well, he popped the block.
I am speechless right now.
And this works out really well because he can bring him down to 1.
Yeah, you no kidding it works out well. King Crush just landed. We have liftoff. Why is this not the GVG board? Because right now the rocket needs to be launched.
I was expecting
Humans need to escape
big.
from this board right now. All abandoned ship.
That is nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, it is indeed.
Ooh, freezing
So,
trap. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter too much. I mean, it makes
I
us
guess
play
it's
awkward.
ice block.
I don't think there's a way he can do it. If he ice blocks this turn,
He has to Alex draws himself now then.
yeah. But no, he'd live. Yeah, that would do it. Because you should Alex draws it before you ice block. Because if you ice block and then do nothing, you're ice blocking. But then you're just if you keep yourself at 1, you're just putting your opponent in a situation where he can just proc your ice block again there, and then you don't have that plan to fall back on. And then the only win condition you have left is Alex Strazing, and you can't Alex Straza.
I think his best bet might be to ice block Doomsayer and Acolyte then. Because then the hero power would proc it, and then like based off that. But because then the Alex Straza would be most powerful and on yourself if you can put it on when you can destroy the board. But Alex Straza on yourself might be also the only play available.
Yeah. Ooh.
Nope, just kidding. Did I say that Alex Straza was the only way he could survive?
I think it was pretty inevitable that he was going to lose anyway. I just didn't see any way out for Gooby in that situation. But
I gotta say, man, I think we have seen the second coming of RNGesus. The
Lucker dog.
The rolls and the draws that he's gotten. I mean, he won't even deny it.
Okay.
You like say, hey man, are you RNGesus? He'll be like,
maybe
yeah.
that's why he's wearing the suit. There's got to be something
Believe in
behind
me
it.
and all who be saved.
It's just a little bit fishy. He wears a suit and all of a sudden he starts getting
wild.
top decks.
The King Crush off the web spinner.
In last game, Alex Straza followed by Ice
Wow.
Block, the exact 2 cards. Wow, this guy is.
Well, yeah, Gooby didn't play around that, so
No.
he got wrecked.
How can you honestly play around it?
You don't play around the possibility that your opponent has it. Otherwise, you're going to play so suboptimally most of the time because the chances of rolling King Crush are really low.
Yeah.
So for every 1 out of 100 times that happens, you played the correct way, but 99 times you played wrong.
I said it outside. This web spinner, it's pretty crucial to draw something good to be able to.
Did you say that?
I said it.
I believe I said that.
I said that.
I think you said that.
I said it. Good try.
Well played,
though.
TJ. Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
You definitely did say the Yu-Gi-Oh thing, though.
Yeah, I did say. I'm going to take credit for that, actually. Thanks.
We're going with Druid versus Hunter to wrap up the series potentially. If Tennis can win this one, he is through to Saturday's main event, once again denying Gooby.
Well, I think Druid has a better time against Hunter than Mage does, especially Gooby's ramp-heavy Druid. It can be really hard to get through even just taunts at all as a Hunter.
Yeah, if he doesn't have Hunter's Mark.
No.
If he doesn't have Hunter's Mark, Druid will shut it down pretty easily and convincingly. I think, generally speaking, Druids do pretty well against what Hunter can do now, but
yeah.
I still feel like Hunter can sneak in wins. If
anywhere.
Druids don't draw well. I think Wild Growth is pretty important, just so that you can get the curve up, and of course Keeper the Grove is always crucial. So let's see if Gooby can turn it around, or will Hunter do Hunter things?
Well, it's not the best here for Tennis. Uncle Tennis.
Wild Growth. And a Keeper of the Grove.
How
and an
convenient.
Innervate. Wow, that's pretty much the ideal scenario.
Yeah. The funny thing is, he can actually clear this
Yeah,
Senjin.
you can kill off the Glaive Zuka. I was surprised he didn't go with the Keeper of the Grove here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Gooby is...
Yeah, Gooby's not happy about that
No.
one. The nice thing, he still has Wild Growth to answer whatever comes up next. I think he, again, people just don't really play around Glaive Zuka that much.
Yeah. It's not something you think about. Maybe in the future it'll be, if it becomes more of a staple card.
I mean, it
Hunter.
kind of is already a card that people should be paying attention to.
Yeah.
We were talking about how, a lot of people were already saying that it's one of the best cards.
I must safeguard them.
Well, I mean, he's got a decent curve with that Wild Growth into Keeper into Sludge Belcher. But it's still... doesn't feel great to have his coined, innervated Senjin be able to be dealt with that easily.
So I'm pretty convinced that there's only Freezing Trap in this deck because he keeps refusing to play the second Mad Scientist. And the longer you hold into Mad Scientist, the high likelier you are to draw into a trap that you have anyways, or a secret, and you want it to be put into play. So it's effectively wasting a dead card.
Yep.
So, with that in mind, and if Gooby can ever get ahead, he doesn't have to worry to play it on Sneak Trap or or even Explosive Trap. Oh, interesting.
Wow. Well, he's protecting his Undertaker from just being able to hero power.
Well, I mean,
throw in
Druid's
slime.
got plenty where that came from. Doesn't necessarily even need to do much.
A big
He's
thing,
got so much taunts.
big thing here is that Tennis is just running out of juice.
Yeah, he needs high main right now.
To draw into more juice.
You think he's gonna get high main and just be like? Well, it had
That'd be
Death Rattle.
ridiculous on turn 6.
Right. It would have been like, it would just been a bit too much, right?
Yeah. But at this point...
Oh, okay, I get it. Tennis froze it because he didn't want it to activate Freezing Trap.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I forgot about that. But it's okay to give the trap, right, activation, as long as you put a taunt up. So, Druid of the Claw.
Where shall I strike?
Yeah, this becomes really problematic. Just
Okay, so what can you draw? You still need high main. It's like his window's running out for him to get high main. It's probably one of the worst draws you could have asked for.
Actually, I think that might be the worst draw. It's useless. At least for this turn.
Yeah.
In regards to this turn. Having to use Kill Command without the Beast activation bonus. Just to get through a taunt. Especially when you just know that it's going to be more and more behind that.
Engaging TC-130 into dislocation.
Where shall I strike?
And, I mean, as this goes on, it's looking more and more likely that we're going to Game 5.
Oh, it's one of the worst ones too. I think he needed anything to push past his taunt.
Yeah, Leok would have been fantastic because he would be able to push to the Druid of the Claw.
Yep. And now, I think Kale of the Zod almost locks it out for certain. Because now he'll never be able to get past these taunts effectively. Well, no traps are up, right? Yeah, the secret didn't get popped. So Druid's gonna outlast here. Because there's nothing you can do as the Hunter player. Unless he has
No.
Starving Buzzard and Elite.
Whoa!
Wait. What? How could I have missed this? How could I have missed this? I make this joke every single week. I make this joke every single week. I said unless he has Deathwing.
And then
How did I do it? I missed it. Frodan, you misplayed.
And then every time I say, "Ha, good one," and then you say, "No, man."
I say no, man. Deathwing and Hunter is the real thing.
Oh no. This could be legit a way for him to come back. Nah, well, I don't know. Well,
Maybe. Look at how
No,
much health
if he doesn't
Druid
have a way to
has.
deal with it, he's at 14 health now.
Well, he's got taunts. Actually, this is really amusing. The game
If
is
he
still
plays
alive.
Ancient of War,
And Zombie Chow. There's no reason for him to play Zombie Chow. So, Deathwing comes out.
no way.
Wow.
Wow.
All right. I'm gonna go back to never missing that joke again.
Wow.
So if he draws a silence, this game is over.
no way.
Cause he only has 2 taunts. He actually needs to play that other slime. The slime taunt is like so crucial.
I'm a little bit baffled right now, Dan.
See? It's a real thing, TJ. Deathwing and Hunter, I'm telling you.
That's very bold, I have to say. I guess that's one of the main downfalls of Hunter. Sometimes you just run out.
He's not going to play a second taunt. He's going to leave it in the hand. Okay. I guess he doesn't play because he wants to get the damage to kill his opponent.
Yeah, well, he's
But
dead.
looks like it's not going to be enough anyways.
Yeah.
Wow, what a crazy game.
That's nuts. That is nuts. Well, he was on a draw from being in a terrible situation to being on a draw to win the game is insane. Not even on a draw to win the game.
So
but
many fails today.
forcing his opponent to have a taunt as well. Like if he didn't have Sledge Belcher, or if he drew into a silence, or even if he drew into a kill command, he could have kill commanded the Zombie Chow to survive an extra turn.
I'm humiliated, man. I mean, we've already made some pretty shaky calls, but the fact that I miss an opportunity to say if he draws Deathwing makes me
Literally
pretty upset.
the only week where you missed that joke.
The only week where I stopped saying, like, well, unless he draws Deathwing. And he actually draws Deathwing. Alright, well, that evens up the series and sends it to an exhilarating Game 5, where we get to see one more time a blind pick from both of these guys. From Gooby, it seems like he trusts his Druid. And, well, it seems like Tennis went for Hunter, but maybe he can switch it up if he feels like he has a better deck against this Druid deck.
Probably Hunter.
You think Hunter is his best shot against Ramp Druid? I'm looking at his lineup right here. And, well,
his Freeze Mage would
I don't
be pretty
mind.
good.
I don't mind the Freeze Mage against the Ramp Druid.
Yeah.
But he's gonna go Zoo.
Okay. Well, out of all the classes, I think Zoo is the. Well, I don't know. I guess Zoo and Hunter are both classes that just have chances to straight up win games.
You think Zoo's the weakest in this lineup against Druid? I
It's
think
hard to say.
Hunter's actually the weakest without Hunter's mark.
Yeah, I would say so. It's harder for you to run away with games early on with the big board. And at Zoo, you can sometimes even just trade in, play the board control route, even if you have a big taunt. With Hunter, it's less likely.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, here we go, guys. Game number 5. The winner of this goes on to tomorrow for the main event. And the loser, well, he's got to wait till Season 2 to try and qualify once more.
I must protect you.
It's going to be a long wait. Their Sunday
Druid
Cups will still
versus
happen.
Zeus.
You just won't have a chance to qualify yet back to Legendary Series.
So he has Mind Control Tech, which already is an important card, but even more importantly, Zoo has a very awkward start.
Yeah. Let's go Wild Growth as well.
Yeah, Wild Growth pretty valuable.
Wild Growth and Ascension into Sledge Belcher. Pretty good. Maybe a Mind Control Tech might need to be thrown in there.
So the thing is, will people start playing around Mind Control Tech? I think they have to, considering the power that it has.
I guess Arena players have an advantage in the current meta.
Right, because they've been playing around it for so long.
Yeah.
It's really cool. A lot of cards that actually ended up being good and constructed. At first, people really wrote them off. And in Arena, people were saying how good they used to be.
Yeah. Well, there was a time when players were putting Mind Control Tech as a creative tech card into some things. But I think this is the most popular it's ever been. Or the closest it's ever been to like a staple meta card.
Yeah, everyone's adding it.
Yeah. Everyone's doing it.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Well, the taunt wall has began. And, well, the mind control techs are about to come out. This is the point where I always turn to Milkcast and I say, do you believe? That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Wow, it was either that one or the Nerubian itself. And in fact, I argue that Harvest Golem is even more valuable because
like
of
it.
how resilient it is.
Yeah, it's sticky.
Yeah.
You can
Wow.
spread the
I feel
damage
like
over the course of 2
I feel
turns.
like that almost decides from this point on. Like that, like swung 30% chance to win away from the blue player. Like
Yeah.
Zoo was probably at like 55 or like 50% maybe.
Yeah.
It's like that just took away 20, 30% chance because it's like that's such a big swing on the board. You just lost all control. Now, you had one less body use power overwhelming. You know that just sets it up so that Doomguard gets much weaker.
Well, now there's nobody on the board for Power of the Woman to even come out, so it's a Lotheb turn. Lotheb
Right.
Voidwalker to follow up on an Ancient of War. That is, this game is
Yeah.
all about sealed.
This was written by, Magic Gaming was releasing the tier list, and she was saying how she feels like Zoo is just at a very abnormally weak state right now on the ladder. And I think it summarizes why Ramp Druid is just so strong, because cards like Mind Control Tech have stabilized enough, and it just shows you the power of 1 or 2 tech cards to answer the metagame.
Yeah. If you're able to get a Mind Control Tech out early, or
Right.
even just stabilize early enough to get a big taunt out when you're mildly healthy.
I'm just waiting for people to complain about Mind Control Tech as a card and ask it to be nerfed. Why does it punish me for building the board?
You can play around it. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's.
Well, it's like Unleash the Hounds, right?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
people complain about Unleash the Hounds because like, why do you punish me for building the board? And they realize the problem was Buzzard. It wasn't Unleash
Yeah.
the Hounds. Yikes. Well, at least he can play everything in his hand, but it's not looking good. Considering that he's about to toss his Doomguard in power overwhelming. Drew's at 26L. There's 2 Ancient of Lords. And yeah, this one. I think we're about to dust him. Gooby is going to be going to day number 2, excuse me, for his 3rd try at the Legendary Series. Will he be able to go all the way this time? We'll have to find out tomorrow.
You know, I'm happy to see that he's broken through once again, and I mean, there's a lot of big names tomorrow, but out of everybody, I wish Gooby the most success, because it's really, really hard. It's
Yeah.
impressive to make it through an open bracket just for one
three
tournament.
runs through an open bracket, 2 of them successful.
Yeah, so he's probably, if you add up all the players that have been through all the open rounds that he's won through, it's probably close to 1,500 players, maybe even more.
Yeah, definitely one of the best players that still has yet to get truly known.
For sure.
He's becoming the next 6-0 of qualifying through, and even when 6-0 was qualifying, there's also players like Dog who qualified through a lot of things to get to where he is as well. And there's just great that players are making names for themselves in this capacity.
For
Really
sure.
happy to see Gooby in gate day number 2.
Yeah, Tennis unfortunately won't be joining us tomorrow. He's going to be knocked out. This is single elimination. You can see on your screen the bracket for today. Of course, Lonely Link and Gooby Sencho are going to be the 2 players joining our stacked lineup
That's
of
right.
players tomorrow.
Tomorrow we'll have Savitz from Team Liquid. We'll have 2 members from Archon. We have Firebat and Amaz. And then we have Tice from Team Nilo. Then we have Gara and KitKats from Tempo Storm, joined by, of course, Lonely Link and Gooby Sencho. A little bit unfortunate, Rain I couldn't join him, or Tennis, who caught really far, but you know what? At least they played and made the mark. And it's pretty cool to see both sides of it, right? Tennis making a name for himself for the first time, and then Rain, of course, coming through the Open, being an invited player normally, showing once again why he deserves to be in that contention there for the top players.
Yeah.
So that wraps it up for the day. Thank you so much, everyone who tuned in. We also want to thank you guys for supporting us. And one more time, we want to also thank our sponsors who helped make this entire thing possible at Newegg, Cooler Master, Crucial, and Western Digital. If you want to support us, the best way you can do it is not just solely through tweeting, but also to check out these guys who make it all happen. Just click on some of the stuff. See if you see any products that you like discount wise. You can check it out. Plantronics is also giving away 2 headsets, Hearthstone and packs, so that way you guys can get more dust or legendaries. They've been really involved in a lot of other stuff around the scene, and we're really happy to have them on board. We'll be talking about them throughout the broadcast tomorrow as well, so make sure to tune in, check in. If you're just tuning into the broadcast now, unfortunately, we're just about wrapped up, but you get to hear our final words. TJ, do you have anything to say?
Well, it all comes down to tomorrow to see who qualifies. It's win or go home. The only thing that matters tomorrow is the winner.
Exactly.
Because nobody tomorrow that's playing can't get through the points, so only the person that wins moves through. And I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to make it to the LAN.
That's right. So, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Hit that follow button on the Twitch channel at ESLTV_Hearthstone. We'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Pacific for the final spot being given away at the ESL Legendary Series.